No intro. We go right into the good stuff. Right up. Take one.
We don't have an intro, so we'll do this.
All right. See, now you're going to bust me on the intro. Here. Okay. You want the intro? Just scrolled into the Wide Open Wednesday live broadcast. That's right. Yours truly, Nitro Nick Leach and American's mechanic Fred Fletcher. We're going to go over all the local racing, and we're going to have some special guests along the way. Could be drivers, could be some of the great people that we have in our racing community, or it could be you. You never know. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being a part of Wide Open Wednesday. We'd like to thank all our sponsors and everybody involved here. Thanks for stopping in. We hope you enjoy the show. All right, we are live on Wide Open Wednesday one more time here as we have a great show lined up for you. Of course, you can see Kate is already in the room with us. Kate has brought us a special guest, and I will let Kate conduct the interview. We'll bring this young lady in here. Kate, hold on. Let me take care of this lady like we take care of everybody else. We'll make her a superstar. But now you got to make this a little bigger, I think. So, Kate, what happened? You're black. You disappeared. Uh-oh, Ava. She abandoned you and left you with the guys.
You're on your own.
She left you, Ava. Uh-oh. This thing's good.
Wow, it's not good.
Yo, Kate.
You're on your own with Nick.
Uh-oh. No, let me remove you and then bring you back, Kate, because you're gone.
She's probably talking to herself.
No, she should be here, but she's not.
Yeah, she said, screw you, and left altogether.
Yeah. All right, Ava. We will, I don't know what the deal is with her. She's coming up dark. She said she was having a problem with her iPad. I think she said she had. So, all right, Ava, we'll conduct this until she comes back. I'm pretty sure she'll figure something out.
Okay.
All right. Don Allen is here. And I think I see a little scroll coming. Nope.
Nah.
All right, Ava, tell everybody who you are besides racing and what you do. We know that you're a part of Airport Speedway, where a lot of people race and you get a lot of cars and a lot of people. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So my name is Ava Bellinger. I am the promoter for Airport Speedway. I also race at Airport Speedway.
God bless you.
Yeah, we've raced at Lanco. We've raced at Bridgeport. You know, we've kind of ran all over the place, but Airport is and always has been home to us. So that's kind of our closest track, and that's where we go weekly.
Aha. Now, you got something big coming up, Battle of the Bull Ring. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So it's technically a 2-day show, but it is 2 separate complete shows. Friday night, we have the Whitey Kid Wingless 125 race. And then also we kind of treat it as like a practice session for the 600s. Basically, we'll have 10 groups of cars go out on the track 2 different times. We will take the quick timer out of each session. So that'll line us up with 20 cars for our AC Racing product showdown. And basically the top 10 are paid, but the big prize is that the winner is locked into the $5,000 to win Saturday Battle of the Bull Ring, and also locked into the Dash for Cash. So whoever wins on Friday for the 600 is locked into the big dance on Saturday. But otherwise, we're just 2 completely separate shows. So you do not have to participate in Friday to race on Saturday.
Now that's like the biggest race of the year for you guys, right?
Oh yeah.
But you have other big races during the course of the year. I know a lot of people. I hear a lot of people talk about Airport. I know you run a really good, efficient show. And look who I found wandering around in the back room. Kate, we were just getting up to speed on the Battle of the Bull Ring, what she does, who she is. You can take it from here.
So one of the reasons, and I want to have Ava back on as a Leadfoot Ladies of Racing in that segment as well. But I know that this race is super important to Ava, but it's also super important to the racers who are coming out and supporting. Ava, did you talk about how you have like the most registrations that you've had and all of that stuff? I
didn't get there yet. So as of today, we hit 75 pre-registered. So this year, honestly, 80 was my goal for the, entire race. Last year we saw 73 cars in total, which was a new record for us last year. So to have already gone past that is just, it's insane. Like every day I'm checking the My Race Pass because I deal with all the registrations directly. So as soon as I get a notification, I'm just so excited to see who it is. And, it just continues to grow, and it's super exciting. It's really been fun. And honestly, our sponsors make my job easy. So we have so many sponsors that have been with us from the very beginning. Christiana Excavating and Betts Garage, they kind of support literally everything that we do. We have a ton of sponsors for this event. Our purse is now over $22,000. So just for Saturday, we're over $22,000. And I don't even know what to make of it. Like, I'm just super thankful. They really make my job so much more enjoyable because they don't make it hard on me. And it's awesome.
Now, I have a question, Kate, real quick.
Sure,
Earl wants to know if she's related to Angelo Marcato that used to race.
That is my daddy.
See that? Earl knew that.
Earl knows all.
Earl knows all. Earl is the messiah of Wide Open Wednesday. He said, you got to ask her if she's related to Angelo Marcato. I recall him racing at airport. Well, Earl, that is her daddy.
And
So
Angelo
gets
also the master of the track and bringing that in. I will say, I have watched Angelo take that track from sunny practice day, and you're thinking, oh, this track's never going to come around. He goes out there, he makes his magic, and it's like a different racetrack for the night race. And I give him kudos every time I see him. I think he's absolutely amazing. So Ava and her entire family are a huge part of Airport. And one of the things that I don't think a lot of people know or understand is that Airport is a club. It's different than Bridgeport or New Egypt. So every single member is critically important to making the track successful. And Ava and her family, the Locusons, so many others are key people that keep Airport Speedway open. And what Ava was talking about, this is one of the reasons why it was important for me to get you on today, Ava. And I know you're short on time, but those sponsors and the contingency awards, thing that is so critically important to making these races successful. And that is how you're getting these numbers. And I think that that's fantastic. And the success of these events could not happen without the car counts, without the sponsors. Not only that, the support of everyone that does what they do. I know that Warren and I will be there. Warren is going to be the flagger for the weekend, so we're super excited to be there. Ava, the other thing, and I don't know if you probably didn't talk about this, is Ava also races along with her husband who races. So Ava comes from a long line of racers. Her grandfather, her dad, her brother, her husband. So
that's cool.
So it's pretty exciting. Will you be racing this weekend, Miss?
So it is my goal at some point to run this race, because I do think that if I could ever qualify, I think that I'm patient enough to probably finish 100 laps. Obviously, qualifying would be the big feat. But because of all of the things that I have on my plate, I have Bobby Butler in my car. So I'm super excited. He is a previous 2-time Bull Ring winner. So super excited to have him in my car. So I will definitely be there with bells on, but I will be running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And I just know that I couldn't give the show my full attention if I was also racing. That has been, kind of the hard part for me, is understanding that balance. And again, I don't have to do it the way that I do it, right? I just have a little bit of OCD, and each year it's like, I don't know how I'm going to top last year. Like last year was so good. The show ran so smoothly, and every year we end up doing it. So without the focus and attention that I have to put on it on the back end, it's such a big deal for me. And I have a ton of people behind the scenes that really, really help keep things going. Somebody that I really want to give a special shout out to is Jeff Johnston. A lot of people don't know, but Jeff has been involved in Airport for really as long as born, right? So he used to be around Airport for a long time, and he moved down to Florida, but he is who does all of our graphics. So I literally can send him a picture with the information and say, hey, make this pretty, right? Do your thing. And he will send it back. And I swear it's within 10 or 15 minutes. And I can then go online and post the write-up. So we were tag teaming all of our driver announcements. I would send him over the picture and the name of the driver, and he would send it back within 5 minutes. I had a flyer to post, and then I was posting all the stats and, you know, digging through the data and stuff. But truly, without Jeff, I couldn't do it without him. So I greatly appreciate everything that he does for us.
Well, we just made him famous. He's on the screen now. So
Yeah, your posts and everything have been amazing, incredible.
Thank
So
you.
great job, Jeff. Great job, Ava, for finding him and working with him. So that's great.
Thank you.
Any last minute things that you want to add before you jump off?
So there are just a couple of things. I've seen a ton of questions, and because we're posting so much, I think sometimes the posts are kind of getting lost. There is no tire rule. So there is something that is a lot different than most big tracks. Airport does not have a tire rule for this event. So when Hyperspeed Week comes to town, that's the only time that we have had a tire rule. So just making sure that everybody who is coming is prepared and understands that you really can do whatever you want with your tires. We don't have any specific spec tire rule around that. And then also at lap 46 is when we do our fuel stop. And the reason that we do that is that we are honoring Rob Vivona. A lot of people also don't know this, but way back in the day before this even started, Andrew and Chris Locuson were on the board of directors at Airport. And Rob went to them and was like, hey, like, I want to figure out how we can make this happen because what you guys have here is special. And like, I think we can do a really special micro race. And truly every year I'm like, I really hope that he's looking down on us and he's proud of what we've done, because without his vision, this would have never been a thing. Like, who says we're going to race micros for 100 laps at Airport, right? Like, it's a small track. It's a lot going on. So I like to think that we've made Rob proud. And at the lap 46 fuel stop, it is a completely open fuel stop. So if you can change your motor in 8 minutes, we were tired of policing it. So we really couldn't watch the way that we would have needed to. So literally we get all the cars in position. We start a timer for 8 minutes, and in 8 minutes, whatever you can do, you can do. But at the end of the whistle, when that horn blows, that's it. So yeah,
if somebody can change a motor in 8 minutes, I have a job for you.
yeah,
hey, I don't know. They were changing axles last year. I know Wayne stopped at the shop or something early on. Like, there was just a lot going on. So it ends up being a super technical race. The track changes pretty drastically throughout. Like Kate said, you know, my dad preps the track. He puts all of his heart and soul into the place. He's there at 7 o'clock in the morning every Saturday. But because of where it is, there's like swamplands around. So like what could have been dry at the end of heat races, the moisture typically comes back in. So we'll start the track with like a tacky track for the feature. And usually by the end of like lap 70, we're starting to slick off a little bit. So it becomes a super technical race, and the pit stop really, the fuel stop really determines what happens there at the end.
How did this lady get her? I'm going to say it. She's got her shit together. Okay.
Thank you.
And if anybody's paying attention, man-wise, that promotes tracks or runs track, you need to get a hold of this lady and talk to her, because she's got her shit together. I mean, wow. I'm just sitting here listening, and, you know, Liam Ballard told me he won 200 races. Are half of them races that he won were they at Airport? Because I know he raced at Airport, correct?
I think he was Blackbird.
Blackbird. Yep. Okay.
So that's the quarter-minute track that's behind Airport, or the other.
Okay, well, be prepared. He's coming your way, and he's quite,
amazing.
He's quite the driver. 200 wins. But I commend you for what you're doing. I commend you for wearing a 6-shooter and not taking any shit from anybody, because that's what racing needs. That's what racing needs. I mean,
she may be Bellinger by married name, but she is a Mercado through and through.
You got to stick to your guns, and if you stick to your guns, you don't have to be a maniac. But if you stick to your guns and you treat everybody the same way, you gain their respect. You can be stern. You can have the same rules. You can do different things. All you got to do is gain their respect. Once you gain their respect, you got them for life. And that's the problem with racing. They're changing this, they're changing that, they're doing this. You're losing the respect of the guys. And that's why there's short car counts and nobody comes to the track.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough it's tough because there's so many people that have opinions, right? And I have a big personality. So I am one that it's like, I don't bite my tongue usually. And sometimes it bites me in the butt. But also at the same time, like, I'm willing to take help. If anybody has better ideas or thinks that they could do things differently, I'm open to the driver's feedback, to the fans' feedback. We can't make things better without criticism, right? So we need that feedback. So I'm always open to that. But that's different than bashing, right? Like I'm
Right,
totally
exactly.
open and ready to hear the feedback, but it needs to be in a constructive way. And not always are people with the best intentions. And sometimes I have to learn to just let them have their opinion because they're going to have it regardless about probably anything in their life. But
Right.
it's okay. I do what I do because I'm passionate about it. And when it all comes together, Friday and Saturday, I just like stand back and it's super emotional because it's like, hey,
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
been
It's your
working on
baby.
this since this time last year. So when I see it all come together, that's my why. I don't get paid by the
Yep.
racetrack. I don't expect anything from the racetrack. I do this
Yep.
because I loved it. And that's
I
just
can
that.
tell. I can tell that you love it, and it's pretty cool. I'm glad Kate got you to come on here. It's an open door policy. You can come on here anytime you want.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've had a lot more fun with some of the ladies that we've had on here than, and I'm not knocking the gentlemen, but yeah, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate that. And I got to get down to the airport sometime. I'll come with Kate and Warren. And if you need a guest announcer, maybe I'll announce some stuff for you. That would be pretty cool. But thank you so much for coming on. I
Thank
really
you guys for
appreciate it.
having me. If you can't make it to the track, you can catch everything on the cushion. So hopefully we'll see you there. But if you can't, it will be streamed live on the cushion both nights.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thanks.
We
All
appreciate
right,
your
guys.
time.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
No problem. All right. Well, we got this guy waiting in the wings, and he said he's got some big announcements. So we're gonna bring him in. Kate, stay right where you're at, ladies and gentlemen. It's the voice of Maple Grove, Billy. What's going on, Bill? You got some big announcements. Tell me what's happening, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The last couple of days have been really positive for Maple Grove Raceway and for Northeast Drag Racing. This past weekend, at the Summit ET National Championships out at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, one of our very own, Matt Wachowski, picked home the Super Pro National Championship, and we had a great time with that. So that was a really big accomplishment for us. That's the fourth time that Maple Grove Raceway has brought home a driver has brought home a national championship. First one was Andy Anderson back in the Junior Dragster days in 1998. Then 2020, Joe McLaughlin in the COVID year brought home the championship in Sportsman. And then Andy Anderson did it again in the Big Cars and Pro Eliminator in 22. And now Matt Wachowski, two-time Maple Grove track champion. This year was a Division I champion. Now he's adding the Super Pro champion, national championship to his resume, which is a hell of an accomplishment. So congratulations, Matt Wachowski. We also had a racer, Mike from up at New Media, one of our neighboring tracks. He ended up winning the Pro Eliminator National Championships, which helped secure the NHRA Division I's first ever team championship in the first year that they decided to do that for the national championship for the ET Series. As the saying goes, in Northeast, throughout the country, when it comes to sportsman drag racing, the national championships always go through Division I, so we're real happy about that. And then today we had a couple big announcements. If you follow Maple Grove Raceway's Facebook page, as you know, we have a big charity event that we do each year called the Race for the House that started in 2012 by Denny Parison. And this past year, John Rose and Nikki Adams, they took over that. When it started in 2012, we had like 15 cars, and now it's grown into a full day event. And this year we were happy. Today, Kyle and Shane presented the check to the founders of the Race for the House and the Ronald McDonald House charities in Philadelphia. When you hear about donating the charities and stuff like that, you think all the money is going to go to the big people in the tuxedos that are in the higher end. With the Race for the House, all the proceeds go directly to benefit the children in the Race for in the Ronald McDonald House charities, especially in the house in Philadelphia. We were happy to present a check for them for over $10,250. So we're really proud of that. Throughout its inception, we've raised close to $500,000 for the race for the Ronald McDonald House charities in Philadelphia. So we're always proud of that. And then we also had another big announcement that was announced today. What started in 1984 with a meeting between Bernie Partridge at NHRA, Greg Zekic-Hallis, and Lex Dudas. in 1985 turned into the NHRA Keystone Nationals, which is our biggest event. As you know, this year was called the Reading Nationals, presented by Nitro Fish. And we got a couple of big anniversaries coming up. Next year is the 75th anniversary season of the NHRA. Next year is going to be the 5th anniversary of the Koretskis taking over ownership. And as you know, you can't go forward without paying homage to your past and present. So the fans have asked for it, and we're happy to announce today that we will be changing the name of the the Reading NHRA Nationals back to the Keystone Nationals for next year. As we always say, we have the best fans in drag racing at Maple Grove Raceway, and ever since the Koretskis took over, and even for the last couple of years, when the Keystone name went away from the title sponsor after the 2000 event. A lot of people have been saying we really want the Keystone name back to the name. And we always said that we always give what the fans want at Maple Grove Raceway. And right now is the time. And we felt it was the right time to give back to our fans and give the Keystone name back. So we're really excited about that. There's a video on NHRA's Facebook page that shows the logo. It's going to be the Keystone logo. And then around the Keystone Nationals name, when you think of Reading, PA, you think of three things. You think of baseball town, you think of racing at the Reading Fairgrounds, and you think about the Reading Railroad. So we have a nice little train track with a train going around the Keystone name. And we're just happy to pay homage to the rich history, not only for racing in Reading, but for also the railroading history here in Pennsylvania.
Well, Bill, we appreciate you giving us all that information, and I know a lot of drag racing fans are going to be happy. I know I'm happy. I can't wait for the Nationals now. And, of course, we have the Keystone Trucking Nationals now that we have there that you and I do together. But, yeah, Bill, we appreciate it. How's your dad doing?
Dad's doing pretty well. I got to see him yesterday. He completely ate his lunch when I was there, so that's always good. The nutritious updated him to good condition, so we're taking it one day at a time. But he's doing really better, and we look forward to having him home before the holiday season, hopefully.
Well, that's
all
great,
right, Bill. We'll be getting in touch with you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Will do, guys. And I must say, before I let you guys go, last week, if you were part of Wide Open Wednesday watching, you were part of history, as I think for the first time ever, I made Nick speechless when I gave that shout out to Austin Beers when his championship cup.
I think you're right, Billy.
You're right. You're right, Bill. I know you follow different things, and it's pretty cool that you are well-rounded like that. We know you know the nostalgia of the drag racing stuff. That's why we have you here for Maple Grove. But, Billy, you just amaze me all the time, brother. Thank you.
Anytime. And I must say, I did forget to do the shout-out last week as well. I also want to give a quick shout-out to Nazareth, PA's own Marco Andretti. As you know, he made news last week on his retirement for racing. He made a fan of me when he came so close to winning the 06 Indy 500 in his rookie season in 2006. So, Marco, if you hear me, cheers, brother, on 30 years of racing, and we look forward to seeing you in your next future endeavors.
All right, Bill. You got it all in there, buddy. Thank you, Bill. We'll talk to you soon. Marco Andretti. I raced go-karts at Flemington. They would show up, him and his father and his grandfather. I remember him racing go-karts. We have to talk to Tommy Lane about that. Now, we'll bring this guy in here real quick, and if Dylan Stoyer is listening, I cannot see you. There he is. We'll bring her on here real quick, and then we'll get to Dylan Stoyer. Earl, the legend.
Good evening.
Earl Krause. What's up, Earl?
Hey, good to be there tonight. Good to see you in the studio, Kate. All
Hello,
right.
Earl.
She's in her studio, Earl. She ain't here, or I would have got slapped already.
That's the private studio. Okay, very good.
Yes, this is my private studio. Yes, yes.
Fred and Nick, good seeing you over there.
Yeah, I'm actually in town this week, so
Excellent.
good to be
Okay,
here.
very good.
Yeah, Fred was
good
hanging
to
out.
be back tonight. Absolutely.
So we have two people waiting in the wings, two outstanding race car drivers. One of them, Kate's a real big fan of. And lately I've been becoming a big fan of this other guy too. He's really shown his wares all over the tri-state area. So we're going to get to them, and then we'll have some time at the end, Earl, and we'll bring you in and we'll go over some things with you.
Yeah,
How's
we got
that
some
sound?
things to go over, Earl.
Excellent.
All right.
Look forward
Sound
to-
good?
Okay, I'll go back to the pizza in the green room.
You got it.
Oh,
All right,
man.
we're going to remove Earl, and he's got pizza in the green room.
I know.
We're going
Last
to bring
week he
this
had
guy in
Brussels
here.
sprouts.
We're going to bring Dylan Stoyer in here.
Brussels
Now,
sprouts.
if I recall, back a few years back at New Egypt, Dylan. Did your dad race at New Egypt?
Yeah, he raced. I want to say it was like 2012. He
Okay.
raced there for a couple of years in the Sportsman, and then he bought a modified motor, and he ran maybe 2 or 3 races with that, and after that, I started to drive, and he stopped driving. So that was his New Egypt career.
Yeah, but
You booted Dad out of the seat, right, Dylan?
Pretty much. I didn't have to boot him.
Way to
He
go,
kind of
buddy.
stepped out on his own.
Way to go.
well, he kind of stepped out, and you kind of stepped in, and you started winning. I mean, you've been winning races all over the place. I mean, you've really made a name for yourself, and got a chance to talk to you at Bridgeport, and I get to watch you on TV a lot. And your dad's got to be pretty proud of what you've been doing. You won the championship at Bridgeport. You won a lot of these big races. You won the Speed Showcase at Port Royal. You've been a frequent winner at Bridgeport Motorsports Park. You guys got to be feeling pretty good. And when I seen you guys at New Egypt, it doesn't look like you have a whole lot of pit crew. It looks like it's just you and Dad.
Yeah, there's plenty of races where it's just me and him, and there's others where let's just say there's 4 guys. Usually weekly at Bridgeport we have me, my dad, and a couple others that come to help, and so that's pretty good. But as far as the travel and stuff, it's hard to find people to make every race, and a lot of times that's why you'll see just 1 or 2 or 3 of us.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cheat sheet here that Kate gave me, and like I said, you were crowned the champion in 2025. You won the short track Super Series win at Port Royal, and then you got wins at Bridgeport. May 25th, you won the Danny's Pizza Pizzazz modified feature. You won the 50 lap feature on June 29th. August 13th, you won the Saturday night Rumble. Bridgeport is not the easiest track in the world to race on because of the high banks. You're a little younger than some of them guys. Is that a challenge to you, Dylan, or are you happy with the way the track is?
Yeah, I mean, in the other guys' defense, they have years of experience, with the old configuration and everything like that. So anytime you get used to something, a lot of people don't like change. But for me, I only ran 1 race at the 5/8 mile. At the time, Danny Serrano got me approved for the horsepower and obviously the 5/8 mile. He was a big help and definitely a big reason why I race Bridgeport today, but I like it. I think it's a great track. And even when I ran Orange County weekly, we would always try to hit the whatever shows we could at Bridgeport, and it seemed like, from the first time we went there, we just ran well. And obviously when you run well, it makes the decision a lot easier as to where you want to race when Orange County did end up going to a limited schedule.
Now, you won the Short Track Super Series race, the showcase race. That's like the biggest race. And people are starting to say, who the hell is this Dylan Steuer kid? Now I'm thinking, it ain't the old man, it's the kid. And I had to talk to Pete Wortman about it. And he's like, Nick, he's natural talent. He's like a couple of these other guys out here. He just gets on the gas and he goes. And then, of course, me and Fred went to Bridgeport, and I got to interview you after a heat race win. Then we finally get you on the show here. But now the season's over. I finally got you on here because you were so busy going all over the place. Yep. What are your plans for 2026? What are you going to do next year?
Yeah, so 2026, we're going to return to Bridgeport weekly. I think, obviously the goal is to get another championship there. So that's my goal. That's my main weekly goal for next season. It's probably going to look similar to what we did this year, maybe a few extra races added on. So we'll do Bridgeport weekly. We'll do Orange County for whatever races they put up, as long as those are on Sundays, which I would imagine they will be. And then we also did the South Series Short Track Super Series, and that worked out good for us. It would be cool to do the North as well this year. The problem with that for me is, especially being on Long Island, it's tough to get up to most of those races as they're pretty far north, you know.
Right.
And they have some in Canada and stuff like that. And the South Series just kind of fits our
Right.
situation a lot better. So we'll definitely be doing that, and maybe pick and choose some North Series races as well.
Now, what?
Do you guys live on Long Island?
Yes, and
Oh,
the race
really?
cars are here too. So anytime we go racing, we're crossing bridges.
Wow. Now, your
Yep.
family play a big role in what you're doing. Do you have any brothers or sisters, or?
It's just I have a sister, but for the most part, me and my dad are the ones into racing, and the race cars are kept here at the shop where he also runs his fabricating business. So
Okay.
this, you know, we're here every day. You know, he's obviously working on his side, and I'm bouncing back and forth, and just about every night I'm working on the race cars.
Now, everybody likes a winner. You know, you won a championship at Bridgeport. You won races at other tracks. You got kids walking up to you, want to race, want to get into what you're into. What do you tell a young kid when he walks up to you and says, "I want to be Dylan Steuer"?
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, you get that once in a while, and that's awesome to hear, because we all started, and I'm still young, but we all started as that kid that wanted to start, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you first start out, you look up to, you know, the big names in dirt modifieds. You know, I started in slingshots. I'm sure you're familiar with those.
Yep.
But from the day, you know, I started in that, I was looking up to the guys that now I'm racing against. So that, you know, even from when I first started, it was like, wow, like I have all these guys die cast cars, and I used to sit on the floor and play with them, and now I'm racing them, and once I started beating them, it was like, this is, you know, this is really cool. You know, sometimes you have to just look back and see where you started, and you know, because it's easy to, you know, get caught up in the moment and just, you know, stress everything and make sure everything's perfect and this and that. But it's cool to look back once in a while and see where you came from.
Any main sponsors you want to mention, get their name out there besides just you and Pop?
Yeah, definitely. I have Northeastern Office Equipment. That's Grant. He's helped my father for most of his racing career, and since the day I started, he kind of carried over to start helping me. And I think not many people can say they've had a sponsor stick with the family for probably 30 years. So he's the big one. Definitely Murray, you know, they built our motors this year and really stepped up our program. As far as the traveling races and stuff like that, Billy the Kid, he puts together a really good piece as well. But I got to thank Weaver's Hardware and Machine. They're in Pennsylvania. I met them a couple years ago, and they were, you know, strangers to me, but I basically threw out the idea of sponsoring a race car, and they were all for it and jumped right in. So definitely grateful for them. And I know there's more. Pollock Farms is a big one. That's actually my girlfriend's family. And they've helped me a lot.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
You'll be single.
No, I wouldn't forget that. It just takes me a minute I'm trying to think of them all at once rather than spit out one at a time. But that's a big one, definitely. Like I said, from the beginning, they really helped us out, and you know, they're big supporters of mine, and I appreciate all of that. And I guess that's really it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fully involved in doing what you're doing. What do you do when you're not racing? Is there a favorite restaurant you go to? Is there a favorite sport you like to watch? What do you do away from racing?
Yeah. So, especially the busier weeks. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm in the shop pretty much every day, but if like this time of year, I like to watch football. Spend time with my girlfriend and take her out to dinner and do all the things that I kind of miss out on every weekend throughout
Right.
the season. Which ends up being most of the year. So for me, yeah, because a lot of guys are still racing. They're at Charlotte right now, and
Yep.
and then then you go down to Volusia and the whole Florida deal, and before you know it, it's March and you're starting all over again. So it's nice to have this time of the year as well, to do the things that you want to do, but you can't do because racing, as everybody knows, is very time consuming. Being at the racetrack is a small percentage of what it really takes.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
We appreciate your time. We appreciate you being on here. It's an open door policy. We're going to get down to Bridgeport more often, me and Fred. And thanks for coming on. And anytime you want to come back on, just let us know, bro. We appreciate
I'm
it.
happy to come on anytime, and I appreciate you reaching out.
No problem. Thank you very much. Kate,
Thanks,
you got any
Dylan.
questions?
Nope, I'm good. You got them all.
All right.
Proud-
Thanks, Dill.
All right.
All right,
thank
we're going to
you.
take a pause for the cause. We got to do our commercials here. And because if not, we don't get paid to do nothing. So let's do what we do for our sponsors here. And we got plenty of them. Let's do this one. Who is all the rage? Sage Chiropractic. That's right. Sage is all the rage in chiropractic care. Dr. Carey and Dr. Mike will take care of you and all your back needs, and they specialize in other things too. Give them a call, 215-497-0700. They have all the equipment, all the stuff you need to get yourself in shape. They're the people that give Fred his adjustment so he can drive his race car on Saturdays at New Egypt Speedway. They are our official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday, so go see them. If you have any problems with your back or any other problems you think you're having that are related to your back, you got to go see Sage because they're all the rage in chiropractic care. So see Sage Chiropractic. Their phone number is 215-497-0700. Go see Dr. Carey and go see Dr. Mike. Bob Drayton Incorporated has been locally owned and operated since 1955. Their goal is to provide excellent customer service and quality rentals to every client. They have a large selection of rentals and solutions for every project or every event you have. You can count on their experienced team for fast and courteous service each time you call them. And they have a 24-hour emergency service, locally owned and operated since 1955. That's over 70 years, gang. Licensed and insured, free estimates available, 24-hour service, military and senior discounts, quality products, and an excellent customer service. Check them out, gang. They're located at 151 Big Hill Road, Southampton, New Jersey. Their phone number is 609-859-3629. And they race, that's right, New Egypt Speedway, Bridgeport Speedway. Bob and his son race the 4-cylinder class, and they sponsor the class at New Egypt Speedway. So when it hits the fan, he's your man, and whatever you eat, he's got your seat. They have a 1-800 number, and it's 1-800-521-2014. So whatever you need, give Mr. Bob a call, and he'll help you out. They are official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday right here on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. Mr. Bob, he's on the job, and you should be too. You got wheels to see better days. Don't replace them, revive them. That's right. Vibrant powder coating and wheel repair. Bent rims, scuffs, no problem. Vibrant makes them smooth and strong and stunning again. From the street to the strip, they'll make your ride shine like new custom colors, flawless finishes, and durable coatings that turn heads and handle heat. Give them a call today at 1-267-566-6842. They're located at 569 Unionville Avenue, Pendle, PA 19047. That's Vibrant Finish. For all you need in powder coating and wheel repair, they make your ride look sweet. So give them a call. Let's talk about transmission for a minute. If you want to get to victory lane, you can't be in low gear. You got to be in high gear. I'm talking about high gear transmissions located in South Jersey. That's right. We specialize in repair, refresh, and troubleshooting your Northeast Dirt modified transmissions. That's right, High Gear. They specialize in Burt Generation 1 and 2 transmissions, and they also service Winters transmissions. It's home of the modified number 13P, driven by Anthony Tramontana Jr. They have reasonable pricing, quick turnaround, You can pick your transmission up at New Egypt Speedway or Bridgeport Speedway, and you can find them on Facebook at High Gear Transmissions. Now, these transmissions are serviced by a great tech, Anthony Tramontana Sr. You can give him a call at 609-385-3084. That's right, High Gear Transmissions. You know, the ending season, and you're worried about that transmission, you're worried about it getting serviced, why not call High Gear and get it done? They'll take care of your transmission. You won't have to worry about it. When you put it back in the car, you'll put it in gear, you'll go to victory lane, you'll be in high gear, and you'll be a winner with High Gear. And speaking of High Gear, they now do sprint car transmissions. So, you sprint car fans out there, you got a sprint car, you got a wingless sprint car, whatever kind of sprint car you got one of them transmissions, got to get them with High Gear. You're not getting anywhere in low gear. You got to get with High Gear.
I got one High Gear.
So Fred's got High Gear, and Fred's going to be so happy.
I cannot wait till next year.
He's going to put an AM/FM in his car, and he's going to be cruising. Kate's going to be cruising. We're going to be having a good old
I
time.
might put a GPS in there.
Put a GPS in there, and yeah. So we are waiting on Buddy Schweibens there, Kate. So
Where'd
I
he
told
go?
him after the ads he could come back in. I see him
He's hanging.
down below.
Yeah.
He's hanging, but he's not on camera. So, there he is. Look at
He has a
him,
peak.
Mr. Wonderful himself. Well, so we're going to bring Buddy Schweibens in here. Kate's a big fan. I'm a big fan. Fred's
Oh,
a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
So, what size shirt are you, Kate?
2X.
I'm a 3X. Fred,
2X.
2X. You heard that, right, buddy? Make sure you're on that. I'll just talk to your
I
mom.
heard that.
That's
That's the best way to do it.
We'll
Yeah,
just
that's the
talk
best way
to
to go
mom.
about it. Yeah.
We'll just talk to mom. But yeah, been wanting to get you on the show. I know you have a big announcement. I'm gonna let Kate conduct this a little bit. Kate, you got notes in front of you or no?
I do.
All right, take care of this, Kate.
Of course you do.
I know you've been wanting to talk to him, so take care of this, and then I'll
And
beat him up
we've-
afterwards.
We talked about it at Motorsports, but now that we're winding down the season, and I've known Buddy for a very long time. I realize he's young, but I've probably known him the majority of his life.
Poor kid.
Since he came to Bridgeport with his Porter Midget with his grandpa. So for those that don't know, Buddy's been his family's been involved in sprint car racing and racing for many years. I actually raced with his dad. So dad still has that picture around every once in a while. He reminds me of the picture of him in Victory Lane and me with before I started racing. So but you capped off your season pretty well there, Mr. Schweibens, with a sweeping the weekend at Bridgeport. So
New Egypt.
I'm sorry, yes, at New Egypt. That too.
Let's see. You did that too? Jeez, I missed it.
Yeah, I missed that too. Jesus Christ, he's sweeping everything.
He is. He is.
He's
a
phenomenal, is what he is.
Phenomenal young man that has raced his way. In my opinion, he raced his way into my heart a long time ago. But I also, for this right here, for Buddy to be on screen talking to us and is far cry from where he used to be. He's come a long way growing up and being able to do these interviews. And I know he came on the radio and was doing an interview with us when we were there. So, so you, for some reason, you've found something at New Egypt because you go there and I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but it's pretty doggone close that you're going to be either winning or pretty close to the front. What is different that you found at New Egypt than other places?
I mean, I think the track just suits my driving style with how slick it gets. That's definitely towards my favor, but we definitely have a good setup there, so that always helps. But I think just the way there's a lot of things you can do there to pass, and I think just over the years, you see a lot of people go there for the first, second time, and they struggle a lot, and I was that person too. But once you get some laps there, you can start to figure it out, and we just got going really good here lately. So
And that's one of the things that I think that that I've enjoyed watching over the years as you've grown, is being able to see how you're able to adjust and change. I think a lot of that has to do to I know you and your dad are close, but I know racing can be tough sometimes. How do you guys have you built that language where you guys can talk to each other? Or I know when Grandpop was here, you had that intermediary. Now with him not being here anymore, how's that changed?
Yeah, my grandfather was always in the shop with us, so it was always us three. Unfortunately, that is no longer, but me and my dad are out here all the time. And I had one race earlier in the year that I went without him, and
Mm.
it was URC at Big Diamond. And I gotta tell you, it was a very weird feeling because I've had him there for so long. I think that might have been the first race that he's ever missed. But just like any father and son in racing, we get in our entanglements sometimes, but it's usually pretty smooth sailing. We get along pretty good at the racetrack, and Jeff definitely helps at the racetrack because me and him, we just over the years we've just gotten so much better at just me giving him what the car's doing, and we know what each other like. He knows what I like, and it's been a snowball effect.
And that understanding is so critical. I like to use the the Days of Thunder analogy too. It's just like we're gonna give he's gonna give the car this. And I remember we talked about your dad and the things that your dad can do, but then being able to have that language with each other to say understanding this is what I'm feeling, and then for them to be able to transfer that into making those adjustments. And you guys have done a really great job with that. And I remember that race at Big Diamond and how different that was, even for me, when Dad wasn't there.
Yeah, it was luckily it still went pretty well. I think we ended up second or third that night. I can't really remember. My memory is really bad. But it was definitely weird because he was definitely eager. He was texting us all night trying to figure out what was going on because he likes to be there and observe everything that's happening, and he wasn't able to do that. So
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So you've run with the Mass 305s. You've done a great job there. So what are your big plans for 2026 there, kid?
So we're doing a lot of more 410 stuff. We're really just waiting for all the schedules to come out, and we're still trying to secure marketing partners and everything. Um, but we're definitely going to do some what about on high limit races, obviously in the area, and Pennsylvania races as well. And hopefully that all goes well. But I'm sure we'll have some open weekends where we might run the 305 or if URC is still here. But we're just waiting for more schedules to come out to figure out exactly where we're going to go.
How did you how was the transition from your 305 to the 410 that first time? How did that go?
Um, it was pretty wild. I don't know how to explain it really. Um, the 410 is just a whole different animal, But I feel like I adapted pretty quickly, and I think a lot of that has to do with Jeff being behind me, and he's been around it for so long, and he understands like how I drive, and that's the biggest thing. And he got me comfortable pretty quick. Obviously, we're still learning a lot. Um, we learned a lot just this past weekend, even at Bridgeport. I mean, it's we got a lot better every time we hit the track, and that's all I can ask for. But that transition was it's cool because I ran the Outlaws at New Egypt, and like I was always a big Donnie Schatz fan forever. I love Donnie Schatz, and I got to race with him, and that was just an unreal feeling. So
So we have a question from our one of our fans. Can you remember the first moment you realized sprint car racing was what you wanted to do for real?
ooh, um, it was probably I can't remember the first time I saw 410s, but I mean definitely as a little kid, but just the excitement, like or even like the big block modifieds, like they go out there and you can just feel it. You can feel the rumble, go through you, especially when you're a kid. And it would definitely have to be one of them first times at the track. And I've always wanted to do it because my dad raced. I've been at the track since such a young age.
And one of the things that that's why I put the picture up today was one of the things that I'm super proud of you for is as hard as it's been, you've gotten so much better at signing autographs for the kids and talking to the kids. And I'm thinking having a little sister probably has helped with that a little bit. Um, but if you being that kid, right, at one point, and now looking back to where you've gotten to race with some of your heroes, and what would you say to a little kid that comes up to you to say, hey, I want to be like you. What do I need to do? Like, what would you say to them?
Ooh, I mean, it's a hard question because I feel like most of us racers were there. And we
Mhm.
were all, I know I was that kid running around and just trying to get pictures. And I loved autographs. And honestly, that I wasn't always the good at talking to other people. But
Mm.
that has grown to be one of my favorite things is when the fans come up and just talking to them, taking a quick picture or signing autographs. Um, but you know, I it's great to see the kids that come up and want that because I feel like you don't see as many kids at the track anymore at like compared to when I was younger even. And
Right.
it's good to have the younger generation come up and I always try to give them the time and sign the autograph because just giving them that little interaction I think is huge and it gives them that excitement. So I always try to stick around even after the races to do that. So
No,
I
that's
remember when the first couple times I approached you, you were I kind of felt like you were kind of like, oh, well, what's this guy want? What's he want to talk about? And then
She's not the
now,
only one that feels that way.
but now he just comes to the back of the trailer. He knows what I'm there for, and it's pretty neat. My job is the coolest job in the world. I have the greatest job in the world. I get to interview guys like you that are going to be superstars later on. And all my racing heroes when I was a kid, Roger Lorino and Billy Pouch and all them guys. So you think it was cool for you growing up. It was really cool for me because my brother raced against them guys. And then I get to interview all them guys. And I seen with you and I became really good friends. I gave you some really good advice about your girlfriend. So, and I told
you
him,
knew
I
you
said,
weren't
look,
getting away without that.
no, I
Nope.
told him, I said, look, you go out with a tanner. Just make sure you treat her right, because if they invite you hunting after you don't treat her right, you're not coming back home. So just pay attention. And but they're good people. You're good people. I'm glad I got to be friendly with you. I enjoy our interviews together. It's always a blast now. Yeah, and I'm proud of you too. I watched that Outlaw show and I said, this is his first one, but it won't be his last. He's definitely going to get a hold of this. And there's a lot of good guys in the class that you're running now that are only going to get better with time, with seat time. Kenny and DJ and all you guys. And now with you not going to be there every race, that gives them a chance to get up on the wheel and get some wins. Because at New Egypt, you're unstoppable, dude. You are like, wow. I'm like, he's in the back. And they're like, he ain't going to win tonight. I'm like, 5 more laps to go. He'll be right there. Don't worry about it. So, I've won a lot of $5 bills because of you, kid. Thanks a lot.
Any sponsors you want to mention before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, everybody that has made this whole 410 thing possible. So it's a joint venture between my race team and Rory Janney. So I have to thank Janney Electric, ABS Electrical, Danny's Pizza Pizzazz. He's been a long time sponsor of mine since I think I started micros, like 125s and 250s. So he's been with us for a long time. Can't thank him enough. And Kreider Manufacturing just came on board with us. So I'd like to thank them and the whole crew. My dad for bringing me into racing and doing this for so long. I don't know how he's put up with me. My mom, she always sets up the merchandise tent, and that is a great task. So I have to thank her for that.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah. And
They're your big fans from Allstate Autoglass.
yeah. I have to thank the DeVaults too. They've helped me a lot in my racing career. Great people.
They are.
Jeff it picked me up. He like took me under his wing when we got in sprint cars. A big reason that where I am today is definitely because of Jeff, and I can't thank him enough for that. And he brought Tyler and his brother Mike along, and they come to the racetrack all the time and help at the track. And that's a lot of things that people struggle with this crew nowadays. So I have to thank them for that. And just everybody else that helps out.
Well, that's awesome.
right.
Thank you
All right,
so much
buddy.
for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you guys
appreciate
for
it, too.
having me.
Thanks, bud.
All right.
And good luck next year. And I'm sure we'll see you somewhere
Yeah.
along the road. But you got an open door policy here, buddy. You can come here anytime you want.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Be good, and we'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Yepper. All right, now the trouble starts.
All right. Been waiting for him.
Yeah, the trouble. See, Allie comes on after. See, she comes on
right
after.
there with him.
She tells me, Uncle Nick, go easy on him. I'm easy.
She has listen. She is a good girlfriend. She has
She's great.
retired as
She's
Miss
great.
Mass so that she can travel with Buddy next
Yeah,
year.
that's cool. That's cool. All right, we're going to bring Earl back in here first, and we're going to talk to Fred about his adventure beyond the adventure here. Fred went to Augusta, GA, as James would say, and he sent me some pictures of some stuff.
Yeah, we can post them now. So
All right.
okay.
Well,
we'll do it for next time.
The
but-
thing of it is you show me the pictures, and then if you look at them pictures, I think him and Elvis had the same interior decorator because it's kind of like on the same level. I asked
know,
Fred.
yeah.
I said, "Does he have a jungle room too, like Elvis had?" Because
Well, he didn't actually call it a jungle room, but it was.
I mean,
a jungle room.
the stuff is huge. It's big. It's cool. And then
But that
you know,
that was the way it was back then.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh, absolutely. Back then, that's the way it was, and pretty neat that you could go down there,
Mhm.
and you're in a, like we call Earl's thing the time capsule. You're stepping into a time capsule
Literally.
of James Brown, a legend in his own right.
Yeah, he's been gone 20 years, and he died at Christmas Day. Well, actually, 19 years, Christmas Day of 2026. And I've been going down there since about 2001, at least once a year, maybe once every little bit past that. Been down there 4 times, and I maintain all of his vehicles, and he has quite a eclectic collection down there. So not too many people can shift gears from working on a 62 T-Bird to a 74 Rolls Royce. So, and then have to come back and work on a 305 that's on a 305 and it's on his Excalibur, and then he has a couple of Mercedes and 28 Rio, which is one of my favorite cars, but that one's not going to run. That one he bought in California with a cracked block. So unless somebody wants to pull out the engine and weld the block, that's not going to happen. It's a museum car. But this time I had to go down there and make sure, because they're going to take the Rio, the Rolls Royce, the 41 Lincoln, the 62 T-Bird, and I think that's it for right now. They're going to take it to a Savoy museum over outside of Atlanta, and it's just an honor to work on his stuff. And
Are the parts that you got to get for these cars? Can you get them? Or do you have
I
to
can get
search
most
for
of them. I had to rebuild the starter for the 41 Lincoln, which there's no parts, and you call people down there, and well, you call them up here too, to be like, what? So I had to tear it apart because the solenoid stuck and had the brushes stick to the armature. So to pull out the starter of this thing, it was about this big. It's not like a normal starter. So I had to pull it all apart, and then I don't have my tools down there, so I pulled all the brushes back with zip ties and stuff while I cleaned up the armature and the brushes, and got it back, and I got it running. Still needs a solenoid. I had to jump the solenoid to get it running, but I did get it running. Rolls Royce, the fuel pump, rodents got into his garage and chewed the wires off in the front of the fuel pump off. So I had to hot wire that to get it going, but I got it going. The T-Bird, that was no problem. That was just points.
Fred, how in the world did somebody find you in Pennsylvania to come to Georgia to work on this stuff?
Yeah, the one of my customers who, when I had the restoration shop in Marsville, he has an 81 Corvette. He saw me online that I did old car restoration. I have since given it up, except for this, because there's not much money in it up here. I couldn't make a living on it. So, but I've been working on his Corvette for the last 7-8 years. And one day he approached me and he said, would you mind doing, I got a weird thing for you. Would you mind looking at the James Brown's cars? I'm like, James Brown? Like D. James Brown? He's like, yeah. I was like, get the hell out of here. So I'm like, sure. So he goes, well, you have to fly down to Augusta, Georgia, and his house is actually in Beach Island, South Carolina, but it's basically on the border. So yeah, so they approached me to come down there, and I've been going back and forth, and they're now put me down as the point guy to for everything that goes on with James Brown's collection.
Nice.
I made some contacts with other mechanics down there, and whatever because I can't bring all my tools down there and all that stuff. So there are a couple things that I won't be able to do, like mount tires and stuff like that. So I made a connection with them, and they have to go through me, and I get it approved from the music company is called Primary Wave Music Company. And if you ever Google on them, you'll see everything they own. Whitney Houston, Prince, they just got Bob Seger's. I mean, it's just they own Sun Records, which is one of my things.
That's cool.
Yeah, they actually approached me a couple years ago about Jerry Lee Lewis, but we shall see how that goes. He's got a Stutz Bearcat, and believe it or not, I actually worked on a Stutz Bearcat, so I'm familiar with it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a very, very big honor. I got to see his house. I got to see his property. Well, I've been getting in and out of there, but they got it all fixed up now. Next year, they're going to open it up as a museum, kind of like a Graceland. But I've actually been to Graceland, and James Brown's is so much more.
Wow,
that's great.
So much more.
It's amazing.
And he's got 65 acres. They're setting it up to have like major events and everything.
That's cool.
And yeah, so it's great. I'm going to go down again probably in January to get the cars detailed, make sure they get detailed right and everything, to send them to Savoy Museum, and then make sure everything else that stays there, like the getaway truck from when he 1989 when he ran
with the
from
bullet
the cops.
holes.
It's got bullet holes all in it. I got pictures of that. I got you saw my Facebook page. Cover page is me sitting in that truck. There's bullet holes behind me, and
That's
windows are
great.
busted out. I got pictures of the bullets that came out of the gas tank. I still have them, or pictures of them.
And he survived that, right?
Yeah. Well, if you watch, I put a video up of the escapade of that, and he said the cops were shooting at him. He said the cop stopped and said, "I got to reload." He said, "I'm going." So he took off and ended up. They chased him back into Augusta after.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he goes, "Are you gonna stop and reload?" I'm going. So
I was leaving.
yeah, so yeah, it's very interesting. But a lot of things that people don't realize about James Brown is as wild and crazy as everybody's seen on TV, movies, the stories you hear. He was equally as a generous guy. He's very well loved in that area.
That's cool.
I have a couple of stories of
That's cool.
people when I've talked to and ran into down in outside of Augusta, and that he has helped out, and he has been. He was a tremendous
There's
man
always,
all the way around.
Always them kind of stories that you don't know the true person, and then you figure it out. Like Earnhardt's one that comes to mind, that he done a lot of stuff for people. All right, I'll do this, but don't say nothing. I don't want anybody.
Well, that's
to know
how
about
James
it.
Brown was. Real quick story is I went to the AutoZone to pick up a part about 2 years ago, and one of the guys that I work with down there was one of James's best friends, and he's still the caretaker. So we went to AutoZone, and he was telling that this kid when he was younger was walking home after working at James Brown's estate, and said James Brown pulled alongside him, said, "Why are you walking?" He goes, "Well, my mom's car broke down, needs an engine, she can't afford it, so I have to walk." So he said, "Hop in the car." So he goes to the house, drops the kid off, calls the mom out, and then calls Dave over to say, "Come pick me up." He gave that family his Cadillac.
Wow.
So they had a car to get so they can get around. That's the kind of guy James Brown was. A lot of people don't know that. So.
Yep. Well, that's what it's about.
So,
I have to say that it is pretty cool to hear the stories of you going down there, just seeing you at your own shop do the things that you do and stuff like that. It's really cool that you get to do that, and I know you love doing that.
I love
stuff.
doing it. Yeah. So
yeah.
My brother was very impressed.
That's good.
I have to thank Earl. He wrote a wonderful story about my brother John that was in the race paper. My sister-in-law called me up, and she goes, "You tell him that I said that he kind of hit everything perfect." I said, "I didn't expect any different from Earl. I knew that was going to happen." I can't thank everybody enough that showed up. This weekend I went to Kenny Roth's viewing, and there was a lot of people there for him too. And just been a bad couple weeks, but
Yeah.
you know what? Because we have a great family that we have, we're able to get through this kind of stuff. So, and I got to thank you again, Earl. That was pretty cool.
Thank you.
It was really neat to see the pictures that you guys had, and the story was just phenomenal, which I didn't put nothing past you. I knew it was going to be that way. So, but yeah, I mean, great show tonight, Buddy Schweibens, all the people that we
I
got.
do want to bounce a couple things off Earl real quick.
All right, bounce them.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, tomorrow we're going to lunch, so
Yes.
See, there you have it.
and I wanted to make that known. Me and Earl and Mark are going to lunch.
Yeah, we didn't want anybody being
That's right.
butthurt. All right.
Mark too.
Yeah, Mark.
Yes.
Where you going? Nifty 50s?
No, Flying Pig.
Flying pig.
Oh, that's right.
Flying pig.
Yes.
My truck might have to break down.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
gonna have to take lunch.
Come on.
Right on Route 130. Yes.
Yeah, I know where it's at, Earl. I know where it's at. Jesus.
But yeah, Earl, we're gonna talk about getting the time capsule together.
Sounds good.
We're gonna do all the local tracks: East Windsor, Flemington, Trenton, anyone, Wall, all the ones around here. So we're gonna have a series of all the tracks and all the memories that Earl and Mark and us can come up with. And I'm thinking, get your pictures together. I'm thinking East Windsor first.
That'd be a nice start. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at my brother's viewing, Mark came in with
Yeah.
Elite Shape Racing
I
jacket
saw
on.
him and
And he goes, Nick, did you ever get one of these? I said, you know what, Mark? I don't think I ever got one. He goes, you got one now. And he
Nice.
took it off his back and he gave it to me.
Oh,
And I laid it
Yeah.
at John's feet in his casket.
Mhm.
And I said, I will take that home with me. He goes, I don't think you'll ever fit in it. I said, well, if I do, I'll be in pretty good shape, don't you think? But yeah, he took it right off his back and gave it to me. I can't appreciate that enough. I know my
That's
brother
nice.
John has one in his closet, but everybody got one when him and Mark started, and they all had a maroon jacket with yellow printing on the back with the race car on it. Pretty neat deal.
yes.
but yeah, what teasers you got for East Windsor that we can start talking about? Anything?
Well,
Anything.
first of all, yeah, it was 60 years ago, 1965, June 1965, that East Windsor opened. And it was a great track, ran on Friday nights. Pee Wee Griffin.
I was just going to say that, Earl. I was going to say, you got to tell me about Pee Wee Griffin, Earl.
We'll have to save that for the time capsule. you know?
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Save it.
Teaser.
But I'm just telling.
Good
Yeah.
job,
Teaser.
Earl.
Pee Wee
Griffin.
Pee Wee was the I tell you, Gil Hearn knows a lot about Pee Wee Griffin. They
Okay.
raced together. But Pee Wee drove, when he ran at East Windsor, drove the red number 72 coupe, and just an exciting racer. And he electrified the fans, let's put it that way. And of course, I'm going to say it was 1967, 2 years after East Windsor opened. I think everybody was there that night to hear it, but Pee Wee got into a skirmish on the track, and he got into several in his time in racing, especially at East Windsor. He got into a skirmish on the track, and Mark could probably verify this, who the other drivers were that were involved. But when Pee Wee pulled back into the pit area that night, those drivers and their teams were waiting for him. And Pee Wee gunned the number 72, didn't even put it up on the hauler. He drove it out of the pit area, down Airport Road,
Nice.
right into Heightstown, a couple miles away. He drove the car right through the center of town back to his garage, which was over there near Route 130.
That's
And
too
I was there that night with my dad. We were sitting in the grandstand, and I can remember looking back over the top of the grandstand towards Airport Road, and there was the red number 72 heading down the road, heading towards Heightstown. It was
That's too
amazing. And that's just one of the
Awesome.
stories about Pee Wee. But he was a great racer, won a lot of features there, very exciting. And we'll tell more about Pee Wee on the
Yeah,
time.
and
Yeah,
speaking
yeah.
of older guys that raced at East Windsor, we lost Eddie Mumford.
Yes.
Who drove the Z8 Orange Crate.
Yeah.
What
And
a
later
fast
his,
race car
Good
that
car.
was.
And then he had the very sleek Pinto number
Yes.
Z8.
Yes.
And then
Yep.
Eddie Mumford, just passed away.
And I hear that Ron Roberts has the original Z8 Orange
Mark,
Crate.
Mark mentioned that. Yes.
Yep. Him
Yes.
and Mark, my brother and Mark tried to buy it from Mr. Roberts and he wouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
So he still has it.
So I'm figuring next week we could probably get together to start the time capsule with East Windsor. So if we can, either one of you guys, I've been to East Windsor a bunch of times, but I'm not a total East Windsor guy. So if you guys know any drivers and stuff that want to join us over here and doing studio, Craig will be back from Tennessee. He'll be ready to go.
I don't know, Earl. Who
Yeah.
do you think? I mean,
Gil.
can we get a hold of Gil? Can we get a hold of anybody?
Oh,
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. And it doesn't have to be just one show. We can do several.
Yeah.
Right.
for
And
East
just
Windsor.
link them together. Yeah.
Because,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to make them all like 3 hours each, and it's not
No.
a documentary. but-
Exactly.
Right.
Because once one story gets going, it's going to lead into another.
Oh,
and
yeah.
another. So
But
I
all
don't.
I can tell you is it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know that
We
people are waiting for it. I don't know how many hits we got on the last one that we just put up, but putting them in the can and then putting them up and telling people this is Earl's time capsule, this is Mark's memories.
Yes.
People wait for that, and then we got to
we got to start delivering. on
yeah
it.
we got to start delivering that, and we got to start figuring out about the
But
hits
the-
now. Hot Rod Santa,
Hot
when
Rod
can we
Santa's.
start
Yes.
giving toys?
We can. I'm starting to collect toys now. I've actually started to collect some cash. So anybody wants to drop over now over at Fletcher's Garage, just bring the toys on. But I'd rather you wait till Hot Rod Santa come over and see all the stuff that's going on there. We're going to have, of course, Santa. We're going to have Mrs. Santa, and we're going to have Hanukkah Harry, which is always interesting. We got Puss in Boots food truck is going to be there as one of our concessions. They're going to have burgers, chicken tenders, soup, a bunch of other stuff that they do. It's just a great restaurant bar. We're going to have the Disciples of Christ Motorcycle Ministries there. They always give out hot dogs and spiritual uplifting and stuff like that. They set up in my third bay, and you can do whatever you want over there. It's spiritual uplifting, prayer. It's just a lot of fun. We're going to have a raffle from Allen Tire and GT Radial. Bring a new unwrapped toy, you get a ticket, and you can win up to 4 free tires. We're going to have a live WBCB radio broadcast from 10 to 12, and you'll catch me tomorrow from 9 to 10.
That's right.
Under the hood.
Under the hood, and then Need for Speed after that. So you can catch me on 1490 AM or 107.3
What are we talking
FM.
about tomorrow? Under the hood.
I don't know.
What's the topic?
Whatever pops in me and Jim's
He
head.
makes it up as he goes along.
Don't let Jim make
I
it.
don't have a script.
Don't let Jim make it up.
Yeah. I never
We'll be
have a
talking
script.
about old movies.
We'll probably talk about
9:30 for Need for Speed.
Yep,
That's right.
9:30.
Earl will be the first caller. I'll be the second caller, and NASCAR Nick will be the third caller.
That's right.
Nick Marco will be on there.
That's right.
And so we're going to have Nick and I are going to have to do a Wide Open Wednesday broadcast from there as well. So come on out. We're probably going to have about 45 cars there altogether between the hot rods and the race cars that are coming. I want to thank Glenn McIntyre for coming. He volunteered to come out and do some stuff. Dom Antonelli's car will be there. Nick Marco will be there with his car and a go-kart. And a couple of the other vintage guys will be there. They said they'll pop in.
McIntyre was on here tonight.
Yeah, he was on here, and it's going to be a great time. Collect a lot of toys. The record's 2307. We always try to beat the record because we're a move forward kind of people.
That's
But
right.
if whatever we can get. I've already got a bunch of cash people have been dropping off. So for the gift cards for the kids, for the teenagers, and stuff like that. So
And it'll
yeah,
be
I'm
a
looking
week
forward to
later
that.
than usual, right? Week
Yep.
later than usual.
Yeah, week after Turkey Derby. And real quick, before we go, Earl, there's been a lot of speculation on what's the status of Wall for next year. Anything you can touch on, or
Yeah, I'll let you know what I have right now. As a matter of fact, I just put a story together for Area Auto Racing News, which is in this week's edition. Just came off the press. Here's the latest on Wall. As many know, the Kraus family, of which I'm not related to. This is Diane Kraus and her daughter Emily, who's the general manager. Diane's husband, Cliff Kraus, was the original leaseholder at Wall Stadium 15 years ago from the current property owners. And Cliff passed away 2010. And Emily and Diane have continued in his tradition of operating the racetrack. They announced this past May, as they opened the season, this was going to be their last year as the leaseholders. So there was speculation throughout the summer and into the autumn as to who was going to take over the track. Pete Miletto, who is a local entrepreneur, has a variety of business interests all around the Jersey Shore area. Part-time racer at Wall Stadium, drives in the sportsman division with the number 28. He's also you may know him as well, Nick, from the go-karts. He's raced in WKA, World Karting Association, raced around the country. And he also had a driving stint for a while in the Indy Lights series.
Okay.
Pete grew up as a race fan at Wall Stadium. And when he was 14 years old, he actually did some race reporting for Area Auto Racing News, covering back in the early 1980s. So he has a real vested interest in Wall. And he has put together a proposal along with Fred Archer, who is a longtime race fan as well. And Fred was one of the original individuals who purchased Wall Stadium from the Nickel family back in the early 2000s. And he was one of the 4 principals in that purchase. Has since stepped away from that. He owned a steel building business. The companies that put up the large steel pillars when they're constructing buildings, that was his company. And he has since sold that, I believe just this year. And again, being a longtime race fan, he has gotten together with Pete Miletto, and Pete's kind of the front man. They put in a proposal to the current property owners to renew the lease for Wall Stadium for 2026 in the future. Now, as Fred told me, or rather Pete told me, they were within a week of signing the new lease for 2026. This was in October. And here the big but. As they were getting ready to do this, another company, and we're not sure who this is, who the business interest is, what a possible developer, we're really not sure. They put in a bid for the property from the owners. The owners of the property have been looking to sell that property for quite a few years.
Right.
Another company has come in and they have put in a bid to purchase that property. So everything is now on hold. The current property owners know that they cannot proceed with the lease agreement until the proposed property owners do their due diligence. They're doing analysis. Do they really want to buy it? So until there's 2 options, the new owners, the proposed new owners could come to the current owners and say, okay, we're going to buy the property. And then Pete Miletto and Fred Archer would negotiate with them to do a lease with them, because even if they buy the property for whatever reason, there wouldn't be anything going on for quite a few years. And the track is a perfectly ready racetrack. Right. Those thought,
that's a shame.
Well, if we can get a lease, we'll continue to operate the track just as normal.
Right.
The other thing would be that these speculative new owners, they would look at the property, say, there's an open property here, but we don't have any real purpose for buying it, so there's no deal. And in that case, the deal hopefully would go through with the current property owners of Pete Miletto. We'd open as usual in 2026. And Pete Miletto is saying he would like a multi-year lease. He's looking at the future to, operate Wall for years to come. So that's where we are right now. The Turkey Derby is set for Thanksgiving weekend. That is under the Kraus family, under Diane and Emily. I'll give you a quick recap there. On Friday of Thanksgiving weekend, the 28th, the SK Wall Modifieds, the current weekly Saturday night modifieds, will have a 100-lap feature. Features start at 1:30 in the afternoon. And the factory stocks will also be racing, along with the 4-cylinder cars and the legend cars and the limited late models. That's on Friday. On Saturday, the tour type modifieds will have a 150-lap feature. They'll be joined by the Wall Sportsman cars in a 50-lap feature. The ATQ MRA TQ midgets will be racing on the inner 5th mile track. And on the 5th mile track, they'll be joined by the very first time debuting at Wall Stadium, the Speedsters that race at Kutztown.
Ah, cool.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah. Rich Tobias's
Good.
Speedsters. They've had several test sessions at Wall on the inner 5th mile track, and they got around really well. And they'll be back for Turkey Derby for the very first time. And as a preview, the Saturday and Sunday before Thanksgiving, I'll look at my calendar real quick. That would be the 22nd and 23rd. In the afternoon, both days, there'll be open house practice. Fans can come sit in the grandstand and watch the drivers shake down all their cars throughout the afternoon on the 22nd and 23rd prior to Turkey Derby. So you have a nice Thanksgiving day with the family on Thursday, Wall Stadium on that Saturday and Sunday, and then Hot Rod Santa on the following Saturday at Fred Fletcher's. So you got a
That's
lot
my
going on
plan.
here at the end of
That's
the
our
month.
plan.
We
Yeah,
got a whole
that-
we got a whole
I
plan.
got them all.
Next
We
couple
got it
And,
all, and then motorsports.
That's right. Motorsport.
I got my spot at Motorsports. I sent my stuff to Danny. So we're all
Yep,
good.
January 23rd and
Allentown
24th.
Indoor before motorsports.
Yes, Allentown Indoor Race is January 9th and 10th. And then the Boardwalk Hall Indoor Races, January 30th and 31st. And then we go dirt racing at the Trenton Indoor Arena. And that'll be, let's see, look at my notes here. That'll be the end of February. That'll be February 19th, 20th, and 21st. So there you
All right,
go.
so we need a
That's
wide
the
open
off-season.
Wednesday meeting before motorsports, right, Kate?
Yes.
A wide open Wednesday meeting before motorsports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to conclude tonight's program. We
What a
went
great
20
show.
minutes over, but we own the show, so we can take
I
some
don't
time.
think the
so.
sponsors will
Good
be.
luck
Well,
to
we
all the
appreciate it.
all the guys in Charlotte, especially the Watts.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Want to wish everybody luck in Charlotte. Hopefully, the track will be a less religious, so to speak. But you know, it is what it is. Everybody's racing on the same track. You go down there to race, and that's what's going to happen. And then Lakeview's racing too. I know a lot of our
Milford.
guys are going to Lakeview. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, tomorrow from 9 to 9:30, it's America's Mechanic. From 9:30 to 10, it is Need for Speed. Earl will be the first caller. I'll be the second caller. Nick is going to be the third caller. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
All right.
Thank
Great seeing you, Kate.
All right, guys. See
All
you guys.
right. Take care,
Yep.
everybody.
All right. Yep. All right. Fred's had enough. He's hungry. Where are we going? Nifty 50s? He's going home. He's had enough. He's going home. All right, gang. We appreciate you being a part of this with us. And we'll be back next Wednesday. More guests, more fun, more time. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being a part of Wide Open Wednesday. We'd like to thank all our sponsors and everybody involved here. Thanks for stopping in. We hope you enjoy the show.